The first thing that you want to do is make sure you record all of your sales calls and client calls. We use a tool called Fathom, which basically automatically logs into every single Zoom call we do. And so we are gathering huge amounts of data that we then use as ammo and research to create amazingly highly specific, highly targeted educational content. Now, the reason we are able to do this is because every single client call I have and every single sales call I have, I am taking the position of a doctor. I am diagnosing someone's problems. And so every single time I get on one of these calls, people are telling me the problems that they're facing, whether it's business related, brand related, content related, whether it's product related. And so what I'm able to do is track and gather a huge amount of powerful data that I can then use and start integrating into the content that I'm producing. Now, a huge mistake a lot of people make when they produce content is they think, cool, this would be a nice thing to post. This would be a nice thing to talk about. This is something that's going to help me go viral. But what you really need to do is stop thinking about the content you want to produce and actually do some flipping research and actually figure out the problems that people are facing. And so when you record all of these calls, you're going to have an infinite amount of content that you can use to start using in your content marketing so you can attract more of these people. Because the thing about content marketing, the point I'm trying to get across to you here is that when we can demonstrate to people that we are qualified to help them solve their most pressing problems, they are going to naturally gravitate towards us and want to work with us further to help them overcome them. And we need to also remember that people don't pay for information, they pay for accountability and organization of the information. Right? They pay for the community, they pay for your guidance. And so the information you're giving for free, like I'm doing right now, needs to be extremely valuable and extremely targeted to people's specific problems. And this is how we get those questions. All right. So once you've got all of the recordings organized, and I'm just going to use one of my group trainings as an example, is we simply need to go into Fathom. Now, we use the paid version because it offers a bunch of different summary options of the call. And so we can get straight into what the problems are. But if you really wanted to, you could just copy the entire summary or copy the entire transcription and ask ChatGPT to find the problems that people asked you with. But what I tend to do is use the sales summary. All right. So unpacking the prospect's needs, challenges, and buying journey. So I go sales, and then that's going to generate. The cool thing about this is even if it is a coaching call with a client, like it's still going to analyze exactly what the problems are that client was facing. So in this instance, it's a group coaching call. So let's see. We're not interested in prospects, not interested in context, seats, budget, no, but current state, okay? For example, so the pain points that came up here are struggling with sales calls and closing deals, avoiding sales calls due to discomfort, unfamiliarity, unsure how to prioritize time between program development, sales, and other business activities. Also feeling conflicted about using similar strategies and templates to his mentors, which is understandable. And so you can see, all right off the bat, I've got some interesting content that I can use there. And then there's also a bunch of other specific questions. All right. So what should I prioritize in terms of time allocation? Should I build a funnel once I'm past content creation and DM outreach? All right. So these are all really, really interesting questions that we can then use. All right. And so what I would do in this instance is I would take all of these questions. That's a really cool question. That's a really cool question. And what I would do, including the problems up here, is copy and paste that over to a document. All right, and so you can see I've got mine here, which is a list of problems that my clients specifically talk to me about. All right, whether it's on sales calls, coaching calls, whatever it is. All right, so here are the problems. Then what I do is I create a list of solutions. And all I do when I'm talking about a solution is I just add how to the front of it. All right, so I'm creating a super specific how-to. The reason we use how-to is because a mentor told me that when you're creating titles, all right, for people, for marketing and everything like that, you want your title to fit on the end of an I want statement. All right. The way you pass that test, for example, is I want to know how to. I want to know how to do that, for example. So that's why we pop how to on. It's just a very, very easy way to make sure it's a clickable title that people actually want to know about. But you obviously can play around with different hooks and titles, but specifically for this exercise, just stick with how to. All right. So take all of the problems, create a list of solutions, and then pop how to on the front of them. All right. And so then you can see I've got all of these how to topics here that I can then go and turn into reels, YouTube videos, course videos, whatever it is. And these are going to be really specifically targeted videos that I can use to deliver to people using my DMs, my outreach, and my content marketing approach. And so you can see how to gain social media experience despite fearing criticism and exposure. Now that came as a direct result of one of my sales calls, someone saying that was the thing that they were struggling with. And so you can see here, I'm not thinking about content creation once. I'm literally not thinking about it. I'm going in to Fathom and my recordings, I'm taking out the actual problems and the questions people ask me, and I'm turning those into content ideas that I can then run on Instagram, YouTube, and I will know for sure that this is something that people want, because if someone is asking me that, the chances are that other people are going to want to know the same thing too. All right, and so you are going to build up this powerful library of videos, of educational content. This is why it's so cool, that you could send to people, especially if clients ask you the same question over and over again. You send them the video that has the solution, and you're going to save yourself literally thousands of hours of time having to explain yourself over and over again. Now, one of the cool things about this is, as well, is when you do eventually get to a stage where you want to build an online program or course or community, again, you've got resources on resources on resources, and you've thought about every single problem people are facing. And that's how you create a bespoke and a robust content strategy, but also building up your content library as an educator. Because at the end of the day, if you're a coach or a consultant, having an educational library where you are communicating your value and you're showing people that you are qualified to solve their problems, you're going to build a huge amount of trust online, and you are going to skyrocket and build momentum and trust that a lot of people would pay thousands and thousands of dollars for. All right, so to summarize, make sure you're recording all of your sales calls, all of your coaching one-on-one sessions, all of your group sessions. Go back into those recordings, find all of the questions and all of the problems and issues people came up with, track them, turn them into how-to solutions, and then get to work filming those videos. All right, if you like this, hit the subscribe, like, comment, do all of those cool things, and let me know what other type of content you'd like to see. All right, but actually you might not need to, because I already know what you'd like to see, because I got this on lock. All right, my friend, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.